Hey, this is Craig the Pool Man with Pool Specialist. Today we're going to demonstrate how to set the manifold pressure. So the manifold pressure is done right here. You would take this top screw out, I'll show you in a minute. And to do that, you're actually going to need a digital manometer. And so the digital manometer, this is really the best thing. It has to be a differential digital manometer. And you're going to take what's called the high side, and the high side is going to attach here, and then you're going to remove the tube to your little air filter here, and you're going to attach that to a T. So you've got a T here, and you want to turn this on. You want to make sure it's zeroed out, and then go ahead and attach that side of the T to your gas valve. I tend not to put them on too tight because they can get pretty gnarly to take them off. And so just so that it doesn't leak. And then you're going to attach this one over to here. And so this is attached to the high side of your meter. And what I want to point out is, of course, it has to be a digital manometer, and it has to be a differential digital manometer. Now, normally, when you're checking the gas pressure, which would come over here, and the gas pressure, you would take this set screw out, and then you put a fitting like that into it, and preferably, I like to use an analog meter. And this is an analog meter, and you can see it's already coded so that you know your gas pressure should typically be between 6 and 10 pounds. I like to adjust it for about 8, and then the gas valve will lock up when your stagnant pressure is 14. So this gray area right here is where you adjust it for your static pressure, and then your dynamic pressure should only be 1 inch below. Is of course inches of water column, 1 inch of water column below what it actually starts out at. So this is an analog manometer. You could also use a slack tube to check your gas pressure going into the gas valve. We've already checked this, and I've got it set for 8 inches of water column, and that's not really what this video is about. We've got other videos that show you how to do that, and that would be on that side. So this gas valve would go like this. On this side, here's this piece right there, and then I removed this set screw and put this fitting into it. And so I've got my T, everything there, and now I'm going to go ahead and turn my heater on. And this reading is going to be a bit high until the gas valve actually kicks in. And you are supposed to get a negative reading. This is a negative gas pressure. So there you go. So now what you can see is that our gas pressure is a negative 0.2, and that's what it's going to settle out at. So that is exactly where it needs to be, is at 0.2. You don't want it any lower, any higher. If you get it higher or lower, it's going to run either too rich or too lean, and then you're going to soot up your heat exchanger, which is a real problem into itself, and that causes a lot of issues. So I actually like to check this on new heaters because sometimes they miss them, and about 10% of the heaters show up and this is not adjusted correctly. So this heater is firing exactly the way it should be fired. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off for right now. and let that cool down. If you did need to adjust it, I'm going to show you on this one so you get a better angle. You're going to take this little cap off and put it in a place where you're not going to lose it. And then underneath, you're going to see that you have another screw. And if you turn it clockwise, it's going to decrease the pressure. And if you turn it counterclockwise, it will increase the pressure. So this gas valve happens to be set correctly, so I don't want to mess it up. And so I just wanted to use this as a demonstration to show you exactly how it is, because you don't quite have the best angle looking at this particular gas valve. Again, you're going to connect here for your high side, here for your low side, and that's your manifold pressure. Your gas pressure coming in is going to be on this side. That's going to be with an analog meter. Digital meters do not respond fast enough to really show you what the actual truth is. This works fine. Digitals and a differential digital manometer on this side is going to work exactly the way it's supposed to. You cannot use a slack tube on this side because it will literally suck the water into it and it will destroy this gas valve. So you don't want to do that. So that's our demonstration for the day. It's rather simple but very important, and if you put in a new gas valve, I would highly recommend that you do check this and set it. It is supposed to be set at the factory, but sometimes they don't do what they're supposed to be doing. Same thing with a heater. When you put a new heater in, I like to check this, and it's just a sense of security, because if you don't and it's running too rich or running too lean, then it takes about a month or 2 months and this heat exchanger is going to soot up, and that is a few hour job to replace it. I do have a video on how to replace that heat exchanger, and sometimes it screws up other things on top of that, such as your flame cone in here winds up getting sooted up as well, and then you have to go in there, take that apart, clean it up, and set it up. Otherwise you don't get the right flame sense back to your ignition control module. So this is very important. I would recommend that you do it on all new heater installs, and I would recommend that you do it on all new gas valve installs. Hope that is educational. If you enjoyed it, please drop us a like, follow us. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.